The Xuanzhong Acupoint. The Xuanzhong Acupoint is also called by other names such as Tuyệt Cot, Tai Hoi, etc. The Xuanzhong Acupoint is the 39th acupoint located on the Gallbladder Meridian. Abbreviation GB39. Location of the Xuanzhong Acupoint. The Xuanzhong Acupoint is located on the outside of the lower leg, 3 cun from the top of the ankle. How to find the Xuanzhong Acupoint? Please note, the Xuanzhong Acupoint is a very special acupoint because it has long been located in at least 2 different ways with completely different perspectives. For your convenience to have more multi-dimensional information about the Xuanzhong Acupoint for reference, practice, comparison and discussion, I would like to mention both of these points of view here. Both of these viewpoints have been and are currently being circulated in various sources in universities, research institutes, and in leading major scientific journals in the world. Accordingly, the Xuanzhong Acupoint, no matter from any perspective, is determined on the outside of the lower leg, at a position 3 cun above the top of the outer ankle. But the complete difference between the two viewpoints here is: according to the first viewpoint, the Xuanzhong Acupoint is located behind the bank of the fibula. Meanwhile, according to the second point of view, on the contrary, the Xuanzhong Acupoint is located in front of the bank of the fibula. Next, I will introduce to you both of these perspectives in turn. Because no matter from what point of view, if we want to determine the location of the Xuanzhong Acupoint, we must first determine 3 important landmarks: the top of the outer malleolus, the anterior and posterior edges of the fibula, and a distance 3 cun from the apex of the lateral malleolus. Therefore, before talking about the 2 different views on how to locate the Xuanzhong Acupoint mentioned above, let's identify these 3 important landmarks together. Please observe and practice with me. I will practice on my right foot. To practice more conveniently, you can also stand and place one foot on a solid surface such as a chair. And if you practice on your left leg, you can do it the same way. First, we find the first landmark, the top of the outer malleolus. This is the lateral malleolus. And this is the top of the lateral malleolus. Please pay attention, our so-called ankle is round and big like this. But we have to take the landmark from its top, that is, at the highest point of the ankle. We take the middle point of the ankle to ensure accuracy. Next, we determine the second landmark located 3 cun from the top of the outer ankle. Now let's define a distance of 3 cun from the top of this ankle straight up. Please close 4 fingers, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and little finger like this. Remember to use the hand on the same side as the foot. Here I'm using my right hand because I'm locating an acupressure point on my right leg. The width of all 4 fingers closed together like this is equivalent to 3 cun. Now, we put 4 fingers like that on the outside of our lower leg. The outer edge of the little finger lies on top of the outer malleolus. Thus, the outer edge of this index finger will be located 3 cun from the top of our outer malleolus. And the third landmark we must now determine is the front and back edges of the fibula. First, we find the fibula. As I have clearly stated in many previous videos, our lower legs have the tibia and the fibula. The tibia is large and has the front edge close to the front edge of the leg like this. You can easily feel the anterior edge of the tibia right in front of the shin like this. Meanwhile, the fibula is very small and thin, nestled next to the tibia. If you want to feel the fibula and its anterior and posterior edges, you can start from the outer malleolus like this. Now, put your fingertips on the outer ankle area like this. Here you will feel some tendons. Here, these are the tendons. They are the beginnings of the muscles above, and they are very solid, so that if anyone is not observant, when touched, they can be mistaken for bones. To clearly identify these tendons, now continue following me. We tilt the knee to the opposite side, that is, if it is the right knee, tilt it to the left and vice versa. Then, use your thigh muscles to lift your thighs up a bit, causing your entire lower leg to lift as well. Lift up. Then place your feet on the chair. Lift it up a bit, then put it down. Now, while we use the thigh muscles to lift the foot up and put the foot down gently like that, you will feel the movement of the tendons under your fingers. That also means you will simultaneously feel a hard surface of bone underneath or next to these tendons. This bone surface is completely immobile when we move as above, regardless of whether the tendons move up or down. That is the fibula we need to find. Here, this is the fibula, while close behind it are the tendons that in anatomy are called the peroneus longus tendon, which is located on the outside, and the peroneus brevis tendon on the inside. Here, these are the peroneal tendons, whether long or short, they are located here, close to the back of the fibula like this. Now our important job is to determine the front and back edges of the fibula to determine the position of the Xuanzhong Acupoint. This is the fibula. Now, place your index finger, press firmly and rub from the ankle upwards like this. We are rubbing your finger on the surface of the fibula. So where is the front edge and where is the back edge of the fibula? Very simple. When our index finger is located 3 cun from the top of the ankle like this, we press the tip of the finger firmly against the bone and slide it forward a little. You will feel the front edge of the fibula. This is the front edge of the fibula. And conversely, if we slide our fingertip back, that is the back edge of the fibula. This is the posterior edge of the fibula, and these are the peroneal tendons, which move when we move our legs as we practiced earlier. This is the edge behind the fibula. And here is the front edge of the fibula. And now, let's return to different perspectives on the location of the Xuanzhong Acupoint. Viewpoint 1. The Xuanzhong Acupoint is located on the bank behind the fibula. Specifically, the Xuanzhong Acupoint is located 3 cun above the lateral malleolus, between the posterior border of the fibula and the peroneus longus tendons and peroneus brevis tendons. This content is circulated according to official documents, used for teaching in universities, such as Hanoi Medical University, as well as a number of other universities and colleges, in Vietnam, China, etc. Viewpoint 2. The Xuanzhong Acupoint is located on the bank in front of the fibula. This viewpoint is also circulated in official documents in many universities and colleges in many countries around the world, including Vietnam, China, and major medical organizations, typically the organization World Health. In addition, another thing worth mentioning is that even in scientific research projects identifying and applying the Xuanzhong Acupoint published in the world's leading scientific journals such as PubMed, there are also these two completely different ways of determining acupoints. Among them, there are authors who identify the Xuanzhong Acupoint at the back edge of the fibula and vice versa. There are other authors who identify this acupoint at the front edge of the fibula. Therefore, within the time limit in this video, I temporarily provide such information for your reference. At the same time, if possible, please continue to learn more about this acupuncture point. If you have any opinions, please write a comment. I will absorb them and continue to research and learn more. According to Oriental medicine, the Xuanzhong Acupoint benefits the sinews, bones, and neck, dispels wind damp, clears gallbladder fire, activates the channel, and alleviates pain. The Xuanzhong Acupoint is often prescribed to treat conditions such as apoplexy, hemiplegia, neck pain, abdominal distension, hypochondriac pain, muscular atrophy of the lower limbs, spastic pain of the leg, and beriberi. Please refer to more useful information related to the Xuanzhong Acupoint in VIKUDO's various websites and channels. Thank you. Wish you health. Goodbye and see you again.